So actually, when I record my own podcast, I let him just and the kids running, whatever it is, I just it's a part of it, part of life.
Yeah.
Butterflies before when the caterpillar before a caterpillar becomes a butterfly, the caterpillar goes into cocoon, and usually in the cocoon, right, the caterpillar becomes a mush. And so its own immune cells attack her, thinking that she's dying. So the same way as we are, because it's holding itself to be like how it was before.
Right.
So we are so attached to how we used to be. So that's why also sometimes transformation is so hard.
Right.
And actually, ironically, for me, going through, divorce and going through all this, I struggled with autoimmune. Right, because there was this transformation. Actually, when I learned about butterfly, I was like, "Oh, okay,
that makes sense."
Yeah, that makes sense.
Transcending, transitioning.
Until basically the so-called imaginative cells they kick in and they overpower the immune system, and that's when the butterfly forms.
Right.
So I guess it's we just have to live the power to imagination and surrender and have faith that, we are going to become butterflies.
Absolutely.
And it's just a phase.
So on the topic of butterflies, you guys, something really cute and funny.
Yeah.
It just shows the universe. This morning I woke up and I posted something for you about butterflies.
Wow.
I literally posted, it's a Spanish rock group called Maná, and they have a song called Mariposa Traicionera, which basically means the betraying butterfly.
Wow.
It's actually a beautiful song. It's depicting a female in the form of a butterfly. And so I posted that song and I literally said, I am a butterfly and so are you. Let's fly.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
That's amazing that you would bring me back at the end of the day. That's how I started my day, with butterflies, and I'm ending my day with butterflies.
That's amazing. So beautiful.
So imposter syndrome, just think butterfly.
Yep, butterfly, exactly.
Butterfly. Love that.
Exactly.
What a way to turn that horrific mentality, imposter syndrome. It's definitely something that's painful, hard. And then if you can have that knowledge now to just say imposter syndrome, butterfly.
Right. Yes.
Now it's beautiful. Now it's a beautiful word.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And you know what's interesting also, I find yes, we need to listen to people who have expertise. They have, they've done things and seeing how they've done it and learning from it. And also realizing that no one really knows what they're doing.
Right.
When they're doing something new, right? When they're moving forward. So it's everyone is always learning, exploring, and then and so knowing that when you're in that space, that it's okay to give yourself permission to fail.
Right.
Because failing is learning.
Exactly. And growing.
Growing, exactly.
Yeah, if you're failing, you're doing. You're achieving. Yeah. And failure is part of the process.
Right.
And as an American, I find that we have such a negative connotation to failure. It's you have to be the best. You have to win.
But how do you become the best and how do you win? You first fail. You have to fail in order to learn.
Exactly.
Right.
I actually had the conversation yesterday with my 5-year-old. He's playing this video game, right? And he gets mad. He's like, the video game! I lost again! He's about to throw it across the room. I'm like, don't you dare.
Right.
Right? But I tell him, I'm like, baby, listen, you have to fail to learn how to play the level.
Yep.
You're not just going to come in and know how to play the level. Do you know how to play the level?
Then what's the point of life?
Exactly.
Yep. It's life school.
Love that. So have you ever had any destructive behaviors or destructive habits that you've had to overcome or you are overcoming?
So, I'm a chocoholic.
A what?
A chocoholic.
A chocoholic?
A chocoholic.
Wait, you eat chocolate?
I eat chocolate.
No, you do not look like you eat chocolate.
I eat dark chocolate.
Okay, so the healthy chocolate.
Yes. Because if I eat unhealthy chocolate, then I feel really sick. And it's just something that... But I think the destructive part here is that I can replace my meals with chocolate.
Okay.
So I don't get the nutrients necessarily that I would want to or need to. And it's just something that's been so quick and so easy. And I guess that's when we were talking about how do we balance home and how we balance out work. Is sometimes you just don't have time to make yourself a meal or you don't have time to go get it. And actually then now I'm learning and to prioritize to make sure I have a proper meal and not just snack on chocolate. But I do have about one chocolate bar a day, a full one, and that's my limit.
I heard
now.
that was okay. A little dark chocolate and a glass of red wine.
but yeah, definitely like this is my weakness. Yes.
Yeah.
And then like the other thing is like I overwork myself sometimes.
Oh yeah.
I overwork myself to the point that I'm exhausted and I get sick. And I am learning how to nourish and prioritize myself.
How long did it take you in your career to realize that you've reached your level of success?
Well, I don't know necessarily if I've reached my level of success, and I think it's like it's good to stay always hungry and thriving and growing. And what success really is, right? Like it's a very, you know, for some people it's actually like to be able to just be in their studio and paint. That's success. You're a successful artist if you just can paint all day long. For some people it's being in certain museums, right? And for some people it's achieving a certain level of you know, aesthetics, or even just finding their voice, finding their style.
Right.
So I just go by the tasks that the universe puts in front of me, and I do one task at a time, and I know it's never stops. And honestly, some artists, they achieve their so-called like nowadays success, right, of like after they die.
Right.
Right, like Van Gogh and etc. Like I'm very happy with the way that everything's happening and moving forward. Do I strive for more? Always.
Beautiful.
Always.
Yes, love that.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and we'll see where life brings me to. Yeah.
Perfect. Love that answer, because I feel the same way actually. So success is forever changing and ever growing, and then it's like fulfilling a void, right? Like you get it, you get to a point and you're like, cool, I did that, and then you're like, let me do it again.
Yeah.
There's a Betty Davis quote where she says, success only breeds more success.
Yes.
It just breeds the desire for more success.
Yes. Yes. And then also like I've noticed like the other day, like I was creating this environmental art show, and you know, and like there's like I spoke to some artists, and when I invited them to be a part of it, they were like, "Oh my God, yes, thank you so much," and they're so enthusiastic and still want to be a part of it. And I was like, wow, I felt like it was a level of success that I was able to give somebody an opportunity that I starved for when I was younger.
Right.
And so giving back, for me, giving back is a form of success.
Oh, absolutely. I'll agree with that as well.
And that's for me, I think, the main success.
So you said you just started an art exhibit?
I just created an art show, yes, for LA Climate Week.
LA Climate Week?
Yes.
What is that?
Okay, LA Climate Week is amazing. It basically brings all different organizations in our area from Los Angeles that work on environmentalism and sustainability, going from scientists to artists, you know, different corporations, and so really bringing those people together so they can collaborate, grow together, learn from one another, and also inspire people who are not in those sectors to bring them on board, to make sure that we all have health, like fresh water, you know, like clean air, healthy food, healthy soil.
What we need to survive.
Basics.
Yeah,
basics. Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's so amazing.
Yeah, it was really, really fascinating to meet so many incredible people, and also inspire artists to advocate for something greater, and for them to also research, you know, like, okay, what do they want? What organizations they stand for, and who they want to support. And it was a beautiful experience to merge the environmentalism and arts in that one. Oh my
gosh. And for our viewers that are interested in that and looking at the art and stuff, where can they go?
Well, okay, so they can go, the gallery was the Sky Portal X gallery, owned by Greg Fleischman.
Okay.
And if people would want to see my art, they can go to Ekaterina Sky Art on Instagram, or ekaterina-sky.com.
And we'll definitely drop all that for you guys when her episode comes out, so you guys can get the links and stuff, so you can find her immediately.
Thank you.
And on the topic of her art, you guys, so I want to bring up something that caught my attention when I first saw it. So she talks about that I'm talking about her like she's not here. Ekaterina described to me that she uses gold leaf in order to represent the divinity of the piece, to hide the prayer behind the gold leaf. Now, for those of us that love art and studied art history, we know that the first wave of human art was the Baroque era. And what was the Baroque era? The Baroque era was art that was related to the higher power, to the divine. It was art that they were making to worship and praise the goddess, the Virgin Mary, God, and the child, so the Holy Trinity. but they used gold leaf in most of the Baroque era pieces. Oh, in most of the pieces. So I find it absolutely amazing and fascinating that you brought it back to that.
Oh my God, thank you so much for mentioning this, because I feel like, okay, I don't know if you're going to leave it in the podcast. I don't know how controversial it is. And it's even funny that I'm thinking it can't be controversial. So, yes, art used to serve for us to worship, right? It was depicting scriptures. It was depicting saints. It was depicting this awe, right, and reverence. And it's interesting because I used to be so scared to reveal my spirituality and my connection to the divine. And I would hide it, right? And so I would paint these portraits of animals all around the world and endangered species, and more about like focused on animals. I remember one day I came back to the studio and I said, I can't hide it anymore. And I literally like walked into my art studio. There were 2 paintings at work, one elephant and one tiger, which I still kept to that day. And I put third eye on both of them.
Oh, wow.
I was like, that's it. And then from then, I went to 100 days of silence and completely like full on, like everything. The spirit was just coming through me, and the work hasn't been released yet. It's been though like so profound, and it's like, you know, like we kind of touched upon that art is a powerful tool. And it feels like it was like kind of like we took away its true essence.
Exactly.
And then we focus on like, oh, how it's pretty or it's funny, like, which is, you know, everything is important and everything is beautiful. Yet, if this is like a home for the spirit, if this is the message from the spirit that is coming through, why can't we honor it and actually allow it to be something that brings us closer to divinity, universe, God, however you want to call it.
And who would you say helped you like develop your spirituality, your artistic direction, your confidence in your art? Can you name people that like helped you do that, or like what in them aspired you to be able to do this?
Yes. So first of all, I think it was really life circumstances. By not being able to speak the language when I moved, so I spent a lot of time in silence. It just happened to be, right? I would be the kid eating in the corner by herself at all times, you know, because I couldn't connect. Then me drawing in my room because I had nothing else to do. I had no kids to play with. And so there was a lot of introspection. There was a lot of that time with
yourself,
with myself, which is also my higher self, which is also the divine, and listening to the power and asking the questions. So it's my stepdad, and also now my father, who I'm connecting with on more like Russian Orthodox, you know, traditions, and also my dear friend Dax de Silva, who is deeply rooted in Judaism. Who's been one of my biggest, you know, supporters and mentors, and also one of my closest friends. And he really reminded me that every day is a walk with God.
Yes. Yeah. Amen.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, how do you overcome artist block? Do you deal with artist block?
So I don't necessarily believe in artist block. And if sometimes I'm in the studio and I'm overwhelmed and I can't create, and sometimes even just tricking my brain. It's like I literally take a brush and I hover over my canvas, and then 2 minutes later I start painting.
Beautiful.
So,
as a writer, I do the same because I keep a regular journal. I try to journal at least twice a day.
Good.
And sometimes I get to it and I'm like, I have nothing to say, or like I'm so angry, I'm so frustrated, I'm so sad, I'm so whatever the emotion is. I feel like, and then I just get the pen in my hand, sit in front of the blank page, and all of a sudden I'm writing a paragraph. Absolutely.
Yep. Showing up.
Just do it.
Yep.
Just do it. That's the message.
Yeah.
If you have a block, just do it.
And if it sucks, it's okay. You learn something and you move on, and you like the next one is going to be better.
Yeah.
And I feel like every creative medium can ignite the other. So sometimes I sing, or sometimes I put on music and I start dancing. So it's all about bringing spirit into my field. It's like creativity, And then when I dance, actually, I have visions of the paintings and how it's going to come through. And then they're being burst. So it's like moving the energy.
Right.
Because it's all about like, it's stagnant. And of course, we're like, sometimes we're stuck in our head and we're like, oh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? But that's, everyone creates in their own way. For me personally, I create from, with the spirit, right? So I just need to remove all the blockages that like, you know, in a way, it's not a creative block. It's more like, am I in my head?
Yeah.
Can I get out of it? Am I too tired? Like, okay, what can I do to clear this channel? And then I go towards it.
Yes. Love that. Yeah. So very, very important question for you next. And it is our last question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? What are your future goals?
So that's a very good question. I know where I see myself in 10 years.
Ooh.
It's been a secret right now, a project that I'm working on.
Okay.
Working towards it. Yet I see myself traveling around the world and learning about different ecosystems of our planet and then translating into paintings what I've learned.
Oh my God, that's exciting.
And then creating experiences around it that I can share with people.
That's beautiful. I can't wait for that.
Thank you.
Oh my God, you guys have to see her art. Okay.
Thank you.
So thank you guys for watching. This is Jennifer Valdez from Gen to Generations. This is a Better Life podcast. We've been here with the beautiful, talented Ekaterina that you can find where? Can they find you?
You can find me at ekaterina-sky.com or you can find me on Instagram, ekaterina.sky.art. Basically, just Google Ekaterina Sky Art, and when you see a girl with red hair, that's me.
That's her. Okay, guys, so go ahead, subscribe. If you like, please subscribe. Tune in to see other beautiful, amazing entrepreneur women living it, succeeding it, hear our stories and how we get through it. Hopefully we're inspiring and encouraging you guys to reach your level of success, to go after your goals and your dreams. This is what this is about. This is for you guys. Please like and subscribe. If you guys want to drop any comments for me, I'd be happy to talk to you guys. I'm excited for when you start talking to me. All right. See you guys next time.
See you.
Ciao, guys.